We saw this whole thing, and let me clear the air real fast. Let me say something genuine about this. Theo Von is someone we've known for a long, long time.
I can't right now.
All right, so it looks like the tragic, sad clown that is Theo Von had a clip surface recently where he is basically telling his audience members that he might self-delete. He's trying to avoid that. Now, let's be honest. A lot of these comedians, once they hit that 40, 45, 50-year-old mark, no matter how famous they are, if they got nobody to share it with, it's a pretty dark world, right? It is the tragedy plus time. Yeah, you're going to get comedy, but how much is it really worth it? And are we sitting here saying that Theo Von isn't trying to find a spouse? He always talks on his podcast about having kids and all these things. Is he not trying? You have to imagine a guy like that is trying. But here's the Bad Friends podcast, Bobby and Andrew, talking about responding to this clip of Theo wanting to self-delete.
Now.
I want to say my piece. I hope he's okay.
He texted me yesterday.
I know, I texted him too, but I'm saying like, I texted him. That doesn't mean shit. He's going through something very deep. On stage, that clip is gross of him saying, I'm trying not to take my own life. And I think people think that was like a bit. And
the actual funny thing about that, though, is Andrew saying texting him doesn't mean shit, and yet everybody knows that Bobby doesn't respond to anybody. He doesn't text or call anybody. So for him to actually text Theo, maybe it is kind of a big deal, at least from the great Bobby Lee. But the thing that I can't help but to wonder is, why is this publicized? Like, why would somebody even... I get filming him, like, talking to the fans, which I initially thought was his family, people in the front row. Hey, this is my family. These are the people that I would say these things to in confidence that they're not going to share it with the public. But no, he said it to the public, and the public shared it, and apparently it was real, because I do believe Theo has responded himself. But when your friends jump on it, it's... I don't know, is it worse? Is it better? Are you drawing too much attention to it? I don't know, because it seems like the people out there on the internet that love to troll, this would be a perfect target. Somebody that they would want to troll. And then eventually grow to regret it. Hopefully, if they're real people to any degree. Now, let's be honest, most of you aren't.
And he's really in a dark place, so we wish him the greatest. And I was texting with a lot of other comics because I think it's I know there's a comedy show. I'll wrap it up real fast. I'm just saying, I think people don't know. I think people don't know that some of us suffer from actual real clinical shit. And I have clinical depression. I have very dark days. You guys have lived through my shit.
Well, here's something that I'll definitely add to that is I don't think any real comedy fan believes that you guys are fine. I don't think there's anybody who watches a comedian thinks that comedian is just having the best time ever. Okay? If you've been a fan of comedy for any amount of time, more than 2 years, right? You're not just a fan of Kill Tony and podcasts. You've been watching stand-up to some degree. You see these guys perform all the way back to Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Lenny Bruce. These guys didn't seem well-adjusted. So when this comes out, it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm curious as to the reality. How real is it? How bad is it for Theo? And when you got these friends sort of piling on, you got to assume it's not great.
He's got it very bad. I'm sorry, but I think fucking people just think you're a clown and you're like, you're not a human. Well, he's a fucking human.
Yeah, it's the sad clown.
My heart goes out to the guy because I know he's struggling a lot. So we love him. I really do.
Look, and I said this a while back. I did a video on Theo Von where I had this assumption that he is a very sad guy. And I think that about a lot of comedians. But most comedians are very good at hiding it. Theo was not hiding it at all. And anybody that saw these jokes and all the things that he's been doing on his podcast for the last 8 years, it's like, to me, he was still a sad guy. He was the sad clown. In a world of, like, unfunny, also sad clowns that don't make it obvious they're sad. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, Harlan Williams is obviously a clown. Is he a sad clown? No. He's just a clown. Theo Von, sad clown.
Sorry. sorry to be fucking honest for 3 seconds on the show. What do you,
No.
What do you want to do? Another Filipino accent? Huh?
East Ethiopian is Hello, welcome to Chevron. Whatever. I'll just say my. Okay, so the reason why I love Theo so much is that I have the same exact sensitivities and vulnerabilities as he has. We have the same kind of issues.
Yeah.
Mentally, and when I saw that clip,
it was heartbreaking.
It was so heartbreaking because I understood where he was at, and I reached out to him, and all I can do as a friend is say, I'm here 24/7. I'm just available. And
the crazy thing to me also is that statement, saying that he's trying to keep from taking his own life. That was something that many people threw out there. 20 years ago, we were saying that shit willy-nilly. And now somebody can say it fully being a joke or fully being serious, and it's so hard to tell. It is very similar to the boy that cried wolf situation, and nobody wants to be on the bad end of that, where you didn't take the boy crying wolf seriously.
And I'm really concerned for him. I mean, he seems to be fine, but I'm still very concerned for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very difficult thing to survive mental health issues in this kind of environment, because it's so fucking hostile out there.
Particularly when it's wrapped in fame and success. I know people are like, cry me a river, rich guy, but like, he's very successful and he's so famous, and that does a thing to you. It's like,
well, doofuses out here are the ones saying that shit, cry me a river, rich guy. Because we all learned very young that money doesn't buy happiness. You can be as rich as you could possibly be, and it just doesn't work out. There's other things in life. There's so much. There's family, okay? Family is the simplest way. And when people don't got that, they don't feel value at all. There's nothing to be here for. Oh, I'm making all these other people. All these other people are getting joy and happiness and laughter in life, and I'm providing that, but I don't actually have any myself. Guys, a prime example of this was easily Robin Williams. He was a point of joy to a lot of people, man, and it wasn't great in his own life. Whether that's, the responsibilities and just situations showing themselves that don't go well, it's still, you have to go on stage and watch all of these people go home excited, happy, while you go back to a dressing room by yourself, you go back to a hotel by yourself, and all of that fame that you thought you had and that love is gone. This is an obvious trait within the world of stand-up comedy, and some of these people never find their way out of it, and it's sad. That's why they all fear this hotel thing, and how often it happens where a comedian is on the road and dies in a hotel. It's tragic, dude. It's tragic. But I knew from the very beginning that Theo Von was a very sad version of a comedian.
Like inundation of attention, and so it really distorts your sensibility sometimes when you're as, kind of popular and wanted, and everyone's around you and they want something, they need something, and I don't think people understand that, and they never will, and that's okay.
Well, also, people don't understand that he is such a kind, soft, sensitive kind of a guy.
Yeah, he has to put.
He's so mindful about his feelings and about people around him. He's just I just care so much about him, and you read things about your friends, and you just want to say, you got it wrong, buddy. It's like not him.
If you're on the internet to any degree, you know for sure that these guys have burner accounts and all that shit. It does exist. And you know that the trolls exist as well, and they're going to play their part, and they're going to do their thing, and it's, obviously in your best interest to avoid that. And I just sit here kind of bothered by the fact that these guys will consistently pretend to be friends. Like, there's the common struggle of being on the road as a comedian was the bonding thing, and still is the bonding thing. If you're not out there putting in the work, you know, doing those shows at these clubs in these shitty places and having to travel every single night, one show to the next, you just don't fit in with the club. But there's also this fake idea of them actually being friendly. Like, no, we're friendly because we did the same thing. We struggled to get here the same way. That's the bond we have. We're all still individual humans, and we have our own faults, right? And flaws and shit like that, and our own, you know, pretentious behavior and certain things. And you gotta wonder, you're reading things about somebody, these guys are watching all this strange content, this Reddit content, you know, this Brendan Schaub hate and this Tony Hinch, you know what I mean? They're all a part of this, you know, subculture with the elephant graveyard and content like mine, where it's, you know, we're sort of just shitting on you goofies, you know what I mean? Like, and some of you actually watch this. Like, I put out a Dusty Slay video a few months ago, and he was one of the very few people to have commented anything on it. That right there tells you that they're looking. They're looking for the attention. They're looking for the adulation, right? They want to be loved. So when they know that somebody's out there hating on them, they also see that because they care too much, guys. Now, who knows what it's like for Theo online? How much does he see? How much does he participate in? I don't know. But there was a moment where Theo started to get too open with his fans. He started to become too honest. And that can backfire. And in most cases that I've ever seen, it does backfire. But that's going to be it, guys. That was a clip from the Unique Entertainment channel. Check that out. Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee call out Theo Von for bombing his Netflix special, which also happened, I believe. He didn't do great. But until the next one.